Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Enrique and Today FM rocks here in Tabwa.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Nosuri.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, ferry service from Nosuri to Suva to be introduced. ACCF revealed school compensation cases. And lack of specialist workers in Fiji.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Amrita Sagar.
Ferry services to commuters in the Suva-Nosuri corridor has been marked by the Fiji Roads Authority. The ferry service is seen to be one that can solve the growing issue of traffic congestion. While FRA is still in the planning phase, a local maritime shipping service provider has revealed they will soon provide ferry services from Nosuri to Suva during traffic peak hours. Saini Animboila with the details.
It's happening soon. The Gander Shipping Services Limited will soon provide daily ferry services from Nosuri to Suva.
I've seen a vessel. There's a vessel available that's probably it's a 32 knot vessel. You know, I've seen in I won't tell where. I've been on it, you know, and it's a water jet, so that's going to go. The draft is only for 0.7 meter of a draft. So from Nosuri to Suva, either it's low tide, high tide, or what tide, she'll make it for under 25 minutes. So just imagine from sitting in your car that you're going to spend 2 hours onto a ferry, which is a high-speed ferry, you know. It's within 25 minutes, you'll be in Nosuri to Suva in 25 minutes.
With this expected to be a major boost for commuters, Gander says they're working to ensure the service is sustainable. Fiji Roads Authority Chief Executive Jonathan Moore says this will help address traffic congestion.
Sure, it's a lot longer distance. It's probably 25 kilometres on the water, but it's all inside the reef, and you can move quite safely, and you could drop people off in different locations. These things need to be considered because the only alternative is to put more roads into Suva and into the other towns and cities as well. And the cost of a new road from Rewa Bridge into central Suva is astronomical.
The Gander Shipping Limited is also working on providing similar ferry services in the Western Division. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Fiji Airports has paid $175 million in dividends over the past 6 years. While making the announcement this morning at the Fiji Airports head office in Namaka, the company also declared $30 million in dividends to government as its shareholder. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The staff of Fiji Airports have been credited to the continuous hard work of building the company.
A culture of driving progress, a culture of continuous growth, and a culture of moving forward. With that, we have seen remarkable transformation at Fiji Airports.
In comparison to the last 6 years, around $15 million in dividends was only declared and paid by Fiji Airports.
Fiji Airports and Fiji Airways have actually embarked on a cultural change in the organizations and in respective organizations. And I see a lot of, both in your organization and Fiji Airways, where a lot of young people are getting involved in senior management positions, you know, tapping into the knowledge base of those who've been there for a while. But both of the organizations are making cultural changes within the organizations. That is very, very critical.
Fiji Airports has simultaneously carried out unprecedented levels of success infrastructure upgrades while operating in a relatively low traffic environment.
This is a remarkable and unprecedented achievement for a Fijian state-owned enterprise that was led by our former executive chairman and now the acting CEO, Mr. Faiz Khan, under his strategic direction of the board and with the support of the great team here today.
Fiji Airports has also made an audited net operating profit before tax of $79.2 million in 2018. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
The Minister of Economy has highlighted the lack of professional expertise in various fields in Fiji. Ayar Said Kayum says this shortage is a result of not having proper and relevant courses in local universities. Koroi Tandulala reports.
Syed Qayyum says the lack of professional in the engineering sector, surveying and country and town planning can affect the development of the country. The minister adds some of these fields do not have full relevant courses in our tertiary institution.
And in fact, many of the courses in Fiji, they're not available in Fiji at all. So we need to ensure that we have at the very basic level in terms of training, in terms of universities, we have those courses available, we have these particular experienced people to be able to teach our young people those courses. Again, there's been some complaints about that, and we've spoken to FNU. The people who run these various schools need to have the right prerequisite skill sets and indeed the qualifications to be able to actually teach our people.
In its effort to address these issues, the government is prioritizing toppers scholarship in the respective fields.
Toppers scholarships, for example, that we do give about 75 to 80% of all the scholarships are skewed towards the non-traditional areas. So, for example, we don't give a top-up for somebody to become a lawyer. They can get TELS. We have more focus on engineering, doctors, teachers, marine scientists, foresters, environmental people, etc. Because we see a huge shortage of people in terms of land surveyors, town planners, a huge gap in the skill sets.
Syed Qayyum says it is critical to have strategies in place to help Fiji continue its growth. Tandulala, FBC News.
The Accident Compensation Commission has received 22 accident applications so far this year. ACCF Chief Executive Parvez Akbar says this includes 20 injuries and 2 death applications. The types of injuries include fractures, sprains and traumatic amputations, to name a few. Akbar says both death applications were declined as it does not meet the requirements of the ACCF. He says the applications will only be applicable if the accidents take place in the school premises and during school hours.
Now, these 2 scenarios fell outside of both of those definitions. So it obviously wasn't one which was a accident on a death on the school premises during normal school hours, nor was it one where it was a school event or activity.
Still to come, new programs for FNU. And Professor shares his success story. Details on that after the break.
Nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere.
Oya ubasit sai sai lambasa, ya ndo talita ina warong nambula FM nambandua ya nasere.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka. Talita kina na warong nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere. Wana tumea nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere nawaluan.
Na evengo fani na tao.
Fiji National University is rolling out new programs to address the lack of expertise in certain areas in the country. FNU's Vice-Chancellor Nigel Healy says they will continue to roll out more initiatives and programs to meet the demand in various sectors. Tandulala reports.
As part of the National Institute's expansion, they'll also establish Bachelor of Nautical Science, a first course of its kind in Fiji.
A new complex going up at the Fiji Maritime Academy, which is almost complete. You'll see the walls there, it's well on track. That provides a range of facilities so that we can launch the new Bachelor of Nautical Science, and that will train ship's captains up to ocean-going vessels of unlimited size. And that's due to be finished this year as well.
With the high demand of specialized media personnel in the country, FNU will be rolling out its journalism degree program next semester to cater for the industry.
The Bachelor is brand new. It's something that we've, in a sense, been promising Fiji for some time. It's taken a little time to develop a program that we're comfortable with as being a kind of international standard program, and that will start shortly and perhaps end all the questions I get about when are you going to launch a Bachelor of Journalism, because that's been a recurrent theme, but it's something that we know there's demand for from the industry, and I'm finally very pleased that it's been announced.
The Fiji National University also plans to establish a new veterinary science animal hospital and a laboratory complex in Coronivia, which is currently in its early civil work phase. Tandulala, FBC News.
Hundreds of diplomats showed up at the Turek Jame Mosque to celebrate Eid this afternoon. Suva Muslim League President Mohammed Tabish Akbar says the celebration aims to bring people together regardless of race and religion. Akbar adds despite Eid being celebrated 2 weeks ago, today's celebration is the first of its kind in Fiji.
To do a public one like this, it hasn't been done in Fiji before, so this is one of the first ones. And we did it a few weeks after Eid because normally straight after Eid people are committed in other places, so we thought that we'd give it a 3-week break before we have this at our mosque.
Naminamu and Tambia villages in Vanuatu have been identified by Fiji Rice Limited to be those that are more engaged in the rice planting program. This program is designed to teach growers the basics of farming. This will be the first farm project where farmers will be producing enough for their mill to run at full capacity. Fiji Rice Limited General Manager Ashrik Pratap says engagement of farmers is vital and they will cover all costs.
That project will start in the main season. So land preparation will start October, November time, and then we will plant in December time, 3 to 4 months time. And it's a fully fledged program where we will be doing 50 acres in Navinamu and 50 acres in Tambia. We're looking at other areas too.
Fijians can expect the best displays in modern technology at the first ever FBC Tech Trade Show. FBC's events officer Amini Tundrau says this show is not to be missed. Tundrau says the stage for the main shows will be outside and exhibitors will showcase their products inside the FMF Gymnasium. The 4-day FBC Tech Trade Show will begin on Thursday at the FMF Gymnasium in Suva.
Outside Pau is where we're going to put the main stage, where most of the events are going to happen. Inside we have the booth where a lot of companies and organizations are going to display their latest technology-wise. Because this is the latest, the first ever tech trade show that we're hosting in Fiji, there's so much to expect in terms of technology.
Education can be used as a tool to overcome many problems in life, and this has been proven true by Professor Ponipate Rokolekutu. In our success story this week, we share the experience of a professor who grew up in Vunimono, Tailevu, and later achieved academic excellence and has become an inspiration to many Fijians. Catherine Krishna with his success story.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Professor Ponipate Rokolekutu still remembers the difficulties he faced while he was a teenager. With 5 other siblings in the house and his father being the sole breadwinner, his family struggled to send the children to school.
So my childhood, during the first 3 years at high school, I used to sell roti on Friday nights and Saturday night in front of the nightclub. I was the only child there and the rest were women. I thought that I just couldn't stand the sight of my mother selling roti out there in the night. So I volunteered to sell roti. I did that for 3 years. I would sell roti on Friday night. I would sell, my mom would make 100 parcel on Friday night. And that 20 cents per parcel, it gives you $20. So, at the end of the night, I come back with $20 to my mom. And we made another 150 parcel of roti on Saturday night. And that's $30. And so that helps to pay school fees, even the daily maintenance of family.
The professor says after finishing his degree at the University of the South Pacific, he taught at various schools and universities in Fiji and the Pacific. He then continued with his studies where he faced many difficulties.
To support myself. I had to do pet sitting, looking after dogs and cats and feeding the fish. I had to do editorial work. I was also fortunate to have had the opportunity to do some consultancy work. That was quite okay because, it brought in a substantial amount of money. That helped to pay fees. There were times I returned to my apartment, with a smell in my hand from cleaning up, old people. And those are moments of, realization that how far I have gone, to get the kind of education that I want.
He is urging everyone to take the risk in life to achieve something.
The risk. But as a Christian, you use the word faith. And, faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And you do that. And I did that. I went and, went out into the unknown And you know, it was very difficult. It was almost insurmountable. There were moments that I wanted to give up. There were suicidal moments as well. But I knew that I had a vision and I pursued it, and I had to sacrifice.
He will be joining the San Francisco State University soon as an academic and sees himself holding a political position in Fiji in the future. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger.
A new chapter in Fiji's Rugby League history was created as our women's team, the Fiji Bulikula, beat Papua New Guinea Orchids 28-0 in their first ever international match. It was an emotional moment as the side ran rampant against a more experienced PNG outfit. A new Vodafone Fiji Mbati halves combination is born after the 58-14 thrashing of Lebanon last night. Sitiveni Modendreke and 19-year-old Brendan Wakeham ignited the Bati machine as they ran away with a well-deserved victory. First Light Taviuni walked away $8,000 richer after scooping the main cup in the Randrandra Sevens tournament at Wailangi in Taviuni yesterday. The side beat Army LFC in the cup final to claim the victory in the inaugural tournament. Eleanor Turangaview reports it was a day full of action and surprises.
16 teams went head-to-head in the elimination round of the tournament at the start of the day. 2 teams from Kandavu, 1 from the highlands of Navosa, 1 from Ngau, 1 from the interior of Naitasiri, and the star-studded AFL Ruggers side were in the running for the main prize money of $8,000. By midday, it got clearer who would be continuing the climb to the top. The quarter-final matches, tournament favourites AFL Ruggers went down 14-12 to a much stronger Mua Knight side. First Light Taviuni thrashed Vunikura 35-0. Kandabu's Nakayolo brothers bowed out of their match against Ami LFC 12-7, and Velomani Combo won against Taviuni Orchid 12-7. And then it was down to the semi-finals. In the first match, Ami LFC beat Velomani Combo 15-0, and First Light Taviuni beat Mua Knights 12-0. Hundreds of people gathered to watch the final showdown of the day between the local side First Light Taviuni and Suva's Army LFC in the cup final. First Light Taviuni crossed the try line 3 times but only managed 1 conversion to claim the victory 17-0.
I would like to thank the Lord. Without him, this win wouldn't have been possible. As soon as we entered the field, I reminded the boys that we need to get the basics right, and also we need to ensure that we protect our try line as well, retaining our possession well and our defense to be good so that the opponents don't cross over.
Army LFC walked away with $4,000 as runners-up. Eleanor Turangeview, FBC Sports.
National Sevens coach Gareth Baber has set his eyes on some players from the Randrandra Sevens tournament in Wailangi Taviuni, which ended yesterday. Baber was impressed with the talent on display at the tournament. He was at the tournament to scout some players and also watch the performance of some overseas-based players. He says he's spoken to a couple of the players when he was visiting the teams.
No, I see them maybe not this tournament, maybe in 2 tournaments' time or in the future. Then all of a sudden, you know, it all adds up. 1 tournament, 3 tournaments, and all of a sudden, then they're coming through. So that's how I like to see it. I like to see consistency in the way they play. And there was 3 or 4 people out there today who did exactly that.
It was 6 years in the making and is now one of the biggest and most successful Sevens tournaments in Vanuatu that aims to develop rugby at the grassroots level. Semi-Randrandra Sevens tournament is about giving youths a chance to showcase their talents as well as giving back to the community. Eleanor Turangeview reports.
Back home for a break from Top 14 Rugby, Semi Randrandra put together and funded the inaugural Randrandra Sevens tournament to help youths back home, especially in the village, expose their rugby talents.
I see when I go overseas, it's an opportunity, talent for young kids, and I do believe that if I do the same thing just to support the grassroots at home, and I give back to the community, to the youth back in the village, hopefully they will be there one day.
Randrandra formed the AFL Ruggers team, who were tournament favourites but went down in the quarterfinals to Moa Knights 14-12. The team consisted of all big names in rugby, including Randrandra himself, the Bas Tuisova, the Sledgehammer Eroni Sau, former New Zealand rugby reps George Tinzi and Seta Tamanivalu, and current national reps Antonio Nambuli, Jerry Tuai and Alucio Nanduba.
We not come here to win the competition. We just want to take part in the competition. Just to some of us, I think the village haven't seen any of the boys. They just watch them on TV in real life, but they haven't met them. For me, it's an idea just to bring them, meet everyone in the village.
Randrandra is looking at making the tournament an annual event.
It's going to depend on my season too, top 14. So I'm not too sure. Next year, probably, I think our season will be finished around June. So that means I'll move to the 7th of July.
Originally from Somosomo Taviuni, Randrandra will be in the village for a while before travelling back to France. Eleanor Turangaiwiu, FBC Sports.
Fiji Under-20 will remain in the World Rugby Junior World Championship for another year. This is after the side relegated a Tier 1 side, Scotland, in the playoffs this morning, winning 50-34. Fijian-born Brumbies winger Henry Spate was in scintillating form as he scored a try to help his side secure a spot in the Super Rugby semi-final. The Brumbies beat the Sharks 38-13 last night. Meanwhile, the Super Rugby semi-finals have been confirmed with Crusaders taking on the Hurricanes while the Jaguares meet the Brumbies. Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami held their nerves in crunch situation and executed their plans perfectly in the death overs to help see off Afghanistan resistance and eventually beat them by 11 runs in a nail-biting encounter. Well, generally fine weather prevailed over most places today. We take a look in the west. It was mostly sunny with temperatures hitting the early 20s and 30s. And eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, a mixture of sun and clouds with breezy conditions. And up north, it was mostly cloudy but mixed with sunny conditions. At sea, south to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas, moderate southerly swells. For the tides, the next high tide is at 11:20 tomorrow morning. Low tide will be at 5:37 p.m. You can expect sunrise to be at 6:40. Now, for tomorrow's forecast, it will be mostly sunny and cloudy conditions will still prevail, and it will be experienced in both major islands. As we look further onto Tuesday, cloudy periods are expected with cool breezes and brief showers are expected as well. Recapping the main stories, ferry service from Nosori to Suva to be introduced. FNU embarks on new programs. And lack of specialist workers in Fiji identified. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Onto our poll question segment. This week, we're asking, should municipal councils take a lead role in capturing stray dogs? You can visit our FBC website to answer. Well, you can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us for our Facebook page, FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply #FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. Until next time, good night.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Kritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.